Has anyone else had the sudden experience of having people in your life start to believe in the most craziest things? I mean, I've had family members say things like, Kanye isn't crazy, he's actually right. The vaccine has microchips that are trying to control your mind. Eternal sunshine is better than yours truly. Which is just all BS. And look, I have no issues with people in my personal life believing in things that might be a bit harmful to them, but when those beliefs start to infiltrate my algorithm, I get a little worried.
LED bulbs came out in 2010. Then they created that artificial sun 2 years later.
The Super Bowl is actually a live satanic ritual.
iPhones are watching us.
Is they put them in a dress.
How come nobody is talking about these pictures? These were taken somewhere in West Africa.
There are 3 major conspiracy theories that I feel like are the most popular right now and are worth talking about in this video. So that's what we're gonna do. Me and you, we're gonna go on this journey today, where we're gonna find out where these conspiracy theories come from, what they've morphed into today, and lastly, why the hell do so many people believe in them? And we're starting with the most popular one. The Illuminati. This is probably the most mainstream conspiracy theory. We all remember being 9 years old and watching YouTube videos where random triangles would pop up near a celebrity and the X-Files theme song would start playing in the background. And I thought we all went through and left that phase, but apparently not, because there are still adults who believe in this stuff. But what even is the Illuminati? The year is 1773. Catholic Church still had notable political power in Europe. Adam Weishaupt is a professor of philosophy and canon law at the University of Ingolstadt, a university run by a secret society of Catholics who call themselves the Jesuits, as in followers of Jesus. Sick name. That's an awesome name. And they really kept everyone under their thumb. It didn't help that Adam was the only professor who wasn't a cleric, that he wasn't really a religious leader, but he also wasn't allowed to teach courses that the Jesuits deemed as too liberal. They were like, can't you just read the Bible during your coursework? So Adam was like, screw this. I'm gonna start my own secret society. He found a few members and they called themselves Illuminaterdom. Ooh, child. Illuminatenorden, the Order of Illuminati. Contrary to popular belief, the Illuminati weren't run by some devil-worshipping, virgin-sacrificing group. They were actually Christians. They just wanted there to be a separation between the Catholic Church and political and personal matters. Like, the criteria of who got to be a member of the society is crazy. You couldn't be a Jew, you couldn't be a woman, person of color, or poor. The Illuminati specifically only allowed cis-het, rich, white Christian men. Big emphasis on the rich part because they wanted to make systematic change, and in order to do that, you had to be a person in power. So a lot of their members were like leaders in something or a part of some council or administration. The Illuminati were literally just a bunch of elites who were kind of sick of Catholic regime. However, word got out about the Illuminati and they were quickly painted as villains and anti-religious. And thus came the end of the Illuminati, because we all know that the best way to gain political favor in a society that is largely Christian is to tell them that your opponents are working with the devil. Nowadays, the Illuminati is less of a fraternity and more of like a coven filled with witches and ghouls. More famous people have been accused of being a part of the Illuminati, like take for example Beyonce, Billie Eilish, Jay-Z. The criteria now to be a part of the Illuminati, according to fear-ridden netizens, is to be kind of rich, famous, and be a little edgy. Oh, so she's rich, famous, and she wears black? Sounds satanic to me, babes. She just might be a part of the Illuminati. And these celebrities, particularly artists, are accused of mind control black magic that they put in their music or even at their concerts.
Something is not right with that. Jesus, in Jesus' name.
Which is kind of crazy because you're afraid of a Playboi Carti concert. Have you ever been inside a church? That's way more terrifying. But I obviously cannot talk about the Illuminati without talking about Lil Nas X and Doja Cat. We forgot to print the picture of Doja Cat, so just pretend that there's a picture. Just and put a picture right there. That's real. That's a real picture. It's there. I'm pointing at it. So Lil Nas X, if you didn't know, released a song called Call Me By Your Name, and this was after he had come out. The music video has a lot of things, but something in particular that really had a lot of religious people kind of lose their minds. There's a scene in the music video where he is dancing on the devil, and this sent a lot of people into a frenzy. He was accused of being part of the Illuminati, of satanic rituals and all that, completely ignoring the fact that the whole music video is just a way for him as a gay person to reclaim something that's been used against the queer community for years. People saying that if you're gay, you're gonna go to hell. Completely ignoring that. He was accused of it, and people started speculating that he came out as gay as a part of a humiliation ritual. Now, the humiliation ritual is basically this whole thing where allegedly it's like an initiation where you have to humiliate yourself in order to be a part of the Illuminati. And we all know that being gay is embarrassing. But I have to say, I've embarrassed myself plenty on the internet. So where's my $1 million contract, Illuminati? And then there's Doja Cat, of course, who shaved her head, and people also started accusing her of Satanism. Yeah, we are back in the 16th century now, where if a woman shaves her head, she's accused of being a witch. Why women look like boy? Women must be satanic. People accuse it of being a part of the humiliation ritual. Again, I've shaved my head. Doja Cat also got a tattoo, and this kind of was like the nail in the coffin for people to be like, oh, she's satanic. That's a satanic tattoo. There's something about this in particular that really, really made me angry, because that tattoo, that's a Shava totem. Doja Cat originally, or at least her father, is from South Africa. This tattoo that you are seeing is an animal that is a totem to the country where she's from. There's just so many layers of this. African cultures as a whole have always been demonized and seen as evil, and there's so many colonial roots to that I just don't want to get into, but it made me really mad because I was like, a lot of y'all just racist. Moving on to the most controversial man to ever be on this wall. You guys, I have something to tell you. Before I even conjured up this video in my mind, I was having so many dreams where Kanye West would randomly just spawn into them. And I don't even know why the fuck I was dreaming about him, because it wasn't like I'd seen pictures of him or was even listening to his music, but he was just showing up all the time in my dreams. This man has been haunting me. I'm even so scared to even look at this picture. I feel like he's looking at me. We're at a new location. Can y'all see me? Is it too dark? Is this too dramatic? That's stain. Don't mind that. Imagine this. The year is 1965. Beatles just came back from performing at Shea Stadium. Their records are selling out, flying off the shelves, and being replaced by new and shiny, critically acclaimed awards. Boys are in the studio recording a new song, and a fight breaks out, right? They're fighting over a verse. Paul McCartney, he finally gets so mad, and he's like, "This isn't fair. I'm the one..." Is that a British accent? "This isn't fair. I'm the songwriter of this group. And also, I hate these stupid haircuts." And the rest of the band is like, "Whoa, mate. That's too far." So Paul is so angry. He storms out of the studio, gets into his car, and drives off. But as he's about to make the first turn, he gets into a car crash and passes away. The rest of the band finds out about this. And John Lennon's like, "You can't let anyone find out about Paul, or else the band is over." I'm paraphrasing. So they cover up Paul McCartney's death and replace him with a lookalike. Or at least that's the story that some fans believe. Fast forward to 2023. Pictures of Kanye West and his new wife, Bianca Censori, go viral. This was one of the rare times that Kanye West had been seen in public after his escapades.
They motherfucking made the Twix double the size trying to make us fat.
But also, people start to realize that Kanye West doesn't look like Kanye. Who is that man? Cloning allegations spur, naturally, as they do. In both of these stories, although they're kind of similar, there's a specific difference in both of them, and I wonder if you could guess it. It's the language. In the 1960s, people were saying that Paul McCartney was replaced by a lookalike, versus now in 2023, people are saying that Kanye West was cloned. I think I have an explanation for this. Disclaimer, these are just my thoughts from my own observations, okay? I'm not saying that this is anything proven. This is how things connected in my brain. 1996 is when the first mammal was cloned. It was a sheep named Dolly, which makes more sense as to why only after this were cloning conspiracy theories a thing. Cloning conspiracy theories were only really a thing during and after the 90s compared to the 60s. Although there was some science like being developed during the 60s about cloning, it still was very fictional, even for like a conspiracy theory for people to think that a human being could be cloned at that time. Compare that to now, where it seems like we should have the technology where we could clone a human being, right? I'm not a scientist, but here's what I can say from what I personally do know and the research that I have done for this video. Is it possible to clone a human being? Don't think so, because during the procedure of reproductive cloning, it doesn't guarantee a clone. There are so many deformed sheep that came before Dolly, like over 200 if I'm not mistaken. Cloning just isn't ethical. It's already illegal in so many countries. I guess in the countries where it's not illegal, you could say maybe they are, but even in that case, it would take so much money and so many resources to clone another human being. I just don't believe that the government would be spending so much just trying to replace a problematic celebrity. I just personally don't believe that. And you can take that from me, a non-scientist. But for argument's sake, let's say that it actually did happen. So what? Did his record label clone him while he was still an infant so that clone Kanye is the same age as original Kanye? How do they know that baby Kanye would become so successful and be so musically talented? And how the hell is clone Kanye as good at making music as original Kanye? Because it takes more than just looking like someone to be someone, you know what I mean? Even if they were raised the same, the smallest things, instances, experiences can completely change someone. I mean, had you not clicked on this video, you wouldn't have found one of the coolest YouTubers that's up and coming right now. Subscribe. So Kanye West went on a rant saying a lot of frankly disgusting things, and those pictures that we see of him were taken and people were like, oh, Kanye was exposing the truth. He's awake. He was exposing the truth. And so the Illuminati or whoever replaced him with a clone. That's why he looks so different. He doesn't look different because he had just obviously shaven off his facial hair, and this was the first time that a lot of us were seeing him without his facial hair. Nothing to do with that. No, brother was cloned. He's a clone babe. What are you talking about? That's not Kanye. But I've also said a lot of out-of-pocket things on the internet. So where's my clone, Illuminati? Now you'd think this is where it ends, but it doesn't. Trisha Paytas on a podcast episode with Tednificent. Trisha claims that the Australian and British accents actually have evil subliminal messaging in them in TV show. That's why she doesn't let her kids watch Bluey. And anything Trisha Paytas says is like gospel to me. So there's more. Trisha in this TikTok, who is she dressed as? King Tut. And who is King Tut from? Egypt. And what is Egypt known for? The pyramids. The pyramids where white supremacists tried to convince us that the pyramids weren't built by the Egyptians, but were built by... We moved again. This is where we were over there like a few moments ago. Do you remember where you were when the CIA published the documents confirming UFOs back in 2020? I'll tell you where I was. I was on the couch with my cousins. They were watching Netflix, and I was scrolling through my phone when I saw an article that said, CIA confirms UFOs are real. And I told my cousins, and we were all in shock. We were like, oh my gosh, aliens are real. What does this mean for us? Now what? And after I read that article, I scrolled past, and my cousins continued to watch TV, and we went on with our lives, just thinking aliens are real. Damn. That's crazy. And it wasn't until a few months ago where I was like, you know, I should really read on that article that I read a few years ago that said aliens are real. I should click on that and actually read through it. So I read the CIA documents. No, I'm just kidding. No, I watched someone who had actually read the CIA documents tell me what was in the documents. Johnny Harris, he has a video on this. Seriously though. after I watched Johnny Harris's video, then I decided to actually read through the documents for myself. Full transparency though, I didn't read all the documents because there's a lot, but I read the ones that I thought were relevant specific to the segment of this video. And all of that will be linked in my description along with everything else that I've used for this video. But basically, all those videos that you saw, yeah, that video of the unidentifiable object floating around, most of those videos are either just trash or weather balloons that have float off grid, or they're just objects that still haven't been identified. Literally unidentified flying objects. UFOs. But unidentified doesn't equate extraterrestrial. And I think that that's where a lot of people start getting lost in the sauce. There's a high probability that the few objects that still haven't been identified as to what they are most likely just spies from other countries. And that should scare y'all even more. That means that there's a country out there somewhere that has really advanced technology that they haven't shared with the rest of the world, and they're using it for military uses. That should scare y'all way more than aliens. I'm gonna be so fucking honest with you right now. It's China. It's all China. Oh, Azura. But what about the mall aliens? That was a video by a YouTuber. Okay, well, what about the other videos I've seen? Have you though? Like, have you actually seen an alien in any of those videos? We have probably the best cameras on our phones in existence right now in human technology, and yet till this day, every single supposed alien video literally looks like it was shot on a potato, dude. And everything else has just been hearsay of people claiming that they've been abducted by aliens. And honestly, as an African person, I even have more reasons to not believe in this, because why is it that the aliens are only in America? Like, why is that the only place that we hear about aliens from? Like, are we not cool enough for aliens? It just doesn't make sense to me. Also, what are the chances that every single person who has claimed that they've been abducted by aliens or that they've seen aliens, it's always been near a military base? You can put 2 and 2 together. Oi, oi, oi. Sorry. We're near the end of the video, and as I was editing, I realized that I forgot to mention a few things. First of all, I have a picture of a painting. It's called The Witch's Sabbath, and if you know this painting, you know why Goya made this, and you know why I'm bringing it up right now. And basically, Goya painted this after, I think this was during the Inquisition, religion and all that, fear among the masses of like science and all that stuff was happening. I'm just gonna read this out, and you take from it what you will. The Witch's Sabbath by Francis Goya satirizes the irrational belief in witchcraft by exaggerating the primitive quality of such thinking. In this, Goya indirectly attacks the Inquisition, which opposed the principles of the Enlightenment. Obviously, I don't really need to say much. That says it all about what I really think about a lot of these things, but particularly Illuminati. And it worries me a lot to think that there are so many people who keep on falling into these pipelines where it's just not good for them or other people. For example, the whole Sketch situation. We don't know what Sketch sexuality is, but people took that and they were like, Sketch is gay. Sketch did this as a way to initiate himself into the Illuminati. Stuff like that has real life consequences, because Sketch, he almost, took his own life, which is so sad. And it's crazy to me that these people are taking real life people and projecting on this fantasy world that they've built up in their heads onto them, and like doing real harm on a people. And it makes me frankly mad. I just feel like a lot of people, it's a lot of things. There's lack of education there's a lack of critical thinking, but there's also this sort of want to be different. Like, people want to be different really badly to the point where they're even willing to look fucking stupid. Like, you want to be a contrarian so badly, you're trying really hard to be seen as this free thinker, but in reality you're not a free thinker. You're not a thinker at all. There's no thoughts happening, babes. There's nothing going on up there. Honestly, this video, most of it was to just show, obviously you can't believe everything that you read on the internet, but also really go deep into things and start researching them. Even this video, don't fucking trust me. I'm a shithead YouTuber. Go read a book or something. I love free speech. speech. Okay, I love free speech so much. That's why I have a YouTube channel and a microphone. I love being able to just yap and say things and then have people also say things back to me. That's the greatest thing about the internet, but it's also a fault of ours because you will have people who will have the nastiest, most rancid, awful opinions that spawn out of nowhere, and then they'll have like 10,000 other people in their comment section being like, you're right. I hope I wasn't seeming too judgmental in this video. I probably was. Believe what you want to believe. Think however you want. Say whatever you want, I guess. But just make sure that whatever it is that you're believing in is actually helping you and not harming you along the way. And not harming others also. And just like really think about the things that you say or the things that you may believe. The implications of saying that in order to be part of the Illuminati, which is, I'm guessing, satanic, is to come out as gay into the public. Like, really think about the implications of that. Like, what are you saying to us? That being gay somehow has its association with the devil? When you say all Jewish people are running America, you're just spreading this rhetoric that was already previously being spread by a very, very horrible man who did very, very horrible things to that group of people. It's so annoying. And I feel like sometimes I'm just like, damn, there are people who are just genuinely regressing. Researching this video has been very interesting. I think I got a sense of empathy for people who are like this a little bit because, again, like I said, I could see how you could just read one thing and just roll with it. I'm not saying you shouldn't spread misinformation. I mean, one time I lied to someone on public transport that a hill and a mountain are different because on mountains, trees can't grow, but on hills, that's where trees grow, and that's how you can tell the difference. And I told her that I was a geography major, and she believed me, and she's going around probably telling other people that same thing. And is that misinformation? Yeah, but it's fun. It's funny. No one was harmed along the way. You can spread misinformation as long as it's funny and fun and no one's getting hurt. To end this, I get it. Everything's so uncertain. Everything is shaky. And it's really easy to not trust anyone or anything. I admire people who can question the status quo. Question things, but have a healthy balance of like questioning things, but also still believing in modern society. Live in discernment, not distrust. You can recognize the bad, but still be grateful for the good. You can choose to keep afloat and not fall too deep on either side. Or not. Okay, so basically, the Illuminati are the secret organization filled with rich and famous people who takes in new members and makes them famous so that they can put in mind control black magic into their music and control the rest of us so we could also want to be a part of the Illuminati, right? And give them more money. But Kanye broke free. They cloned him though when he was speaking the truth to the people. But not only that, but the Illuminati is also running the UK and Australia to keep on sending these messages and try getting to your line. We know this now, thanks to Trisha Paytas. Now, what about the lizard people? Where do they, right? So the lizard people might be some type of alien that has learned how to mourn, but they're also working together with the Illuminati, which means the Illuminati and the aliens are also connected, which would explain why they have such advanced technology to be able to clone another human being, right? The CIA in here, because, So in conclusion, the CIA is working together with the Illuminati and the aliens to hack into my phone so they can control my mind and also see what dirty videos I've been watching. And just like that, it all clicked. I was seeing everything clearly for the first time. I had escaped the Matrix. I got rid of all things with eyes in case they were watching me. I began spending my time listening to some real intellectuals.
Do I believe in climate change? No.
You don't believe in climate change?
Well, I think the climate always changes, I guess. This is the climate change? Yes, the climate changes. It was different weather yesterday than it was today.
And I stopped hanging out with my NPC family. I couldn't trust them. I couldn't trust anyone but myself.